Hello, here to introduce my game Anomalies. Been working on it for a while now. It's not really a game in the traditional sense. I really started working on it as a piece of art. So it's already been in a couple of art shows. So I have it actually displayed in a gallery, either on a projector or on a large screen TV, something like that. And people can come and interact with it. And I wanted it to make unique and inexplicable things. I'll give you a quick example of what I'm talking about. So here, quantity, you've got one spawn happening here, that's that big one, and then segments, these are called segments. So this spawn will start producing segments and build the anomaly based on that. So right now it's just a few. So if I increase that to like 4 and increase the segments a bit and respawn it, you'll see that it, got a little bigger. You can see lights flashing here. So these anomalies are visual and audio things, and so based on the visual properties, it will produce audio following those same properties. It still looks a little bit strange here, so let's try to, mess up some other stuff here. We can make it a bit bigger. And let's try a different segment type. I like number 4 here, because they get you can see it's very different from the original one I had. So the segment type, here we had a circle before, now we have these long like fingers, finger bones, and so it makes a longer and more stringy kind of looking anomaly. Another major thing that's going to affect, let me turn the volume down here while I'm talking so you can hear me. So there's lots of features. A nice one is wiggle. So this will actually set the anomaly in motion, and the motion of each branch is going to depend on the angle range of that branch, and then the speed of the motion will depend on the wiggle speed. So I'm going to hit respawn, and you will see it moving around now. Aha! Turn the volume up a little bit. I hear something. I can turn those lights on and off. If I don't like them, I can turn them off. It still makes the sound. If you don't like the sound, you can turn that off too. I'm going to show you some of the things you can do with sound also a little later, so bear with me. So this anomaly, now you can look around it. I'm just using the regular WASD keys. And here to bring the menu up, I'm just hitting the space bar. So I play a lot of these, first-person games, and it's pretty standard hand position for those. I have a setting here called camera orbit. It goes up to 5, depending on where you set that. Once I hit spacebar again, now I'm orbiting with the mouse, and I can move closer with the middle mouse scroll wheel. Alright, so another thing you can do, if you don't want to spend time worrying about all these parameters here, you can just hit randomize, and it will randomly select the parameters and create an anomaly based on those. So this one's actually not that different from the one we just saw. It has a different segment type. Segment type is here. And you can see that the anomaly branches are very straight. That's because it has straight branches selected. And so the branches, they won't bend until there's like a split. And so they keep going straight until they split off. Let's see here. I'm going to just hit randomize a couple times until I find something interesting. Okay, this one's a little different. You can see there's some smoke happening in here. Something strange, unusual. That's particles. So particles, you can turn up or down, turn it off if you want. Particles tends to slow things down if you don't have a good graphics card. So, try to keep it not too high. Let's see, I'm going to keep hitting randomize until something cool happens. You'll notice they have similar texture. There's actually lots of different textures, but randomize isn't doing its job right now. So I Okay, here we see a little different texture going on. We see these kind of spinning things. Those are called flowers. Flowers are here. You can turn those on or off. And there's different flower types, flower colors. Randomize again. There's another one with flowers. Now I want to show you something. I'm going to hit randomize once more. I'm going to show you. Okay, here's one. It's got flowers, it's got particles, it's got these long stings. I'm going to change the texture on this so you can see some of the different texture types. Okay, here, these same branch, but it's got a different texture. It's kind of a pattern there. And now listen to the sounds coming out of it. They're kind of a spacey sound. But if you want to have it a little bit more musical, what you would do is hit this symmetry. Now you can have, there's 3 different levels of symmetry. There's 1, 2, and 3. I'll show you 1 first. Hit respawn. There we go. Now, you can hear that the sounds are a little more harmonious. The notes tend to go together a little bit better. That's because symmetry is active, and depending on the texture of the anomaly branch, and this is not very obvious at all if you're just playing with this for the first time, it will change the scale of the music that it produces. So it's on texture number 6. If I change that down to like number 2 or 1 and hit it again, you'll hear it's a different kind of song going on. The rhythm is similar, but the notes are different. So if I want to change the rhythm, I would actually change the angle range here. And that should slow down the rhythm, if I've done my homework here. So you can see there's lots of different things that can happen here. And if you are someone who's kind of, you just want to have this sort of in the background doing its own thing, I added this auto timer. So what this will do, I'm going to put it low so you can see what it does quickly rather than, I'll put it at 11. So I'll set that to 11. Now I'll hit randomize and I won't touch anything. And what happens is it will automatically randomize the anomalies and move the camera for you, and every 11 seconds it will re-randomize the anomaly. You'll see a different one. I'm going to make a screensaver mode that you can install as a screensaver. But you can just sort of watch this or have it playing in the background, as a piece of moving, singing art. And you can amaze and wow your friends, They'll be like, what the heck is that? And then you can tell them. And then you can start playing around with it and show them how cool you are, because you know how to do all these things. Anyway, if you like what you see, please vote yes. Not quite symmetrical. What's happening? Yeah, orbit. So if you want these fully symmetrical anomalies, you gotta make sure orbit is off. Now, I just did something that I didn't explain. So these sliders will let you set the parameters, and then if you hit respawn, it will base that next anomaly on those parameters that you selected. However, sometimes you want to randomize things. But you want certain things to be fixed. So if I want to just see these symmetrical anomalies, right? but I don't want them to be orbiting, so I'll turn orbit all the way 0, and then I click this to lock it. And if I want it always to be symmetrical, I will click this to lock it. Now when I hit randomize, it will automatically use the three-way symmetry, and it will automatically use the no orbiting. So even if I'm now putting on the timer, now it's always going to be symmetrical, and it's not going to orbit to mess up that symmetry. Now when I hit spacebar, it will automatically cancel that auto. So the auto timer is now set back to 0, and you can go back to manually manipulating the anomalies. One fun one that I just threw in there, just for the heck of it, is called re-randomize. So depending on how high or low this is set, it will each time it spawns a new segment, it will randomize the next segment. So you get some crazy looking stuff when you hit re-randomize. You can see all the different segments are totally different. And when you don't have symmetry enabled, it gets even crazier. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this brief introduction to Anomalies, and I hope you'll vote for us on Steam Greenlight if you get a chance. Thank you so much. Have a great day.